Alright, we're setting up the 5-inch titanium Firebox stove. We've had all sorts of weather here lately and it's kind of windy, so I'm in a sheltered spot at the moment to do a brew up with some tea off this in the first burn, just to see how things run. I expect this to do pretty well. It does. The stainless steel version did great, so there's no issue there. I'm sure that this will be just the same. Get the ash pan in there, make sure that's settled down, and then we'll put this in. Let's see how this goes. I think I want the boil plate in because I'm going to heat up some tea once we get this going. Get a little tinder nest in there. Let me turn this around to where I can feed it from the front easily enough. I did the base review on this stove a little bit ago and the weather's been nasty enough windy. It's still windy, but I decided I'm going to run it today. I've been trying to hold off because it's been a lot worse. But we finally had some moisture, snow, rain a few days ago that hopefully it'll keep things from getting sporty. This is some osage that I nipped off of a stool that I'm making. We'll just add that in, and we got a bunch of twigs and stuff that'll go in. I've got everything up off the ground because the ground, you can tell the ground's muddy. But we're going to cheat and light this up with a man-made fire starter. I could do either or. But if you got presence of mind to have the stove with you, you're going to have another source of ignition. Oh yeah, you can hear it. You can hear it pulling now. I'll feed a little from the top with some small stuff. Get it a bit mixed in there. I've got sticks that I picked up from around the yard, so it's a mix of like osage and cottonwood. Things along that line, a little bit of elm maybe. You can tell how light that stove is when I catch it with the, it moves it a little bit. It weighs it just at a pound, I think. And I like the way the titanium heat anodizes, so it'll end up, the more you use it, the cooler it'll look, and it'll become personalized for you. You've got your feeding slots here. You always see these, which is funny. You always see these with sticks stuck out of them that look like they were bought at a hardware store. Doesn't matter what type of stove it is, they've got perfectly straight sticks that are absolutely symmetrical and of the same exact size. I don't know about you, but I don't ever seem to find sticks like that around here. What I get is what you're seeing me stick in here. So that's what we're gonna use. Granted, it's not as pretty for pictures and things along that line, but it's real world. Now that we got it down, it's not smoking, we'll throw my water on top. Shut that vent so it quits blowing fire at me for the most part. We've got another feed hole on this side. It's got two, maybe three, two slots to where you can feed twigs in from the side. These two at the top, you can dump them in from the top that way. Or you can lift the pot and run them in that way also. The ground's a little wonky, that's normal. Things will move about a bit. I'm not really worried about it. You can feed it in from the top that way. This is the first burn of the titanium. Looks like it's doing pretty well, and it's about half the weight, I would say, of the stainless steel version. The heat off of it, I'm sitting a little bit back from it, but the heat off of it's singeing the hair off my legs. Just be aware of that fact. These will put off a lot of heat. Better back up a scooch. But they'll also keep most of the fire contained, so it lessens the chance of fire danger if you're out in areas that you're a little worried about that. Keeps your fire small, contained, but yet it burns pretty hot. You can see it's starting to wisp steam up off the water. That's getting hot enough, we'll throw the T-ball in there. I'll have to put the name up of the tea. I can't think of it right off. It's the only caffeine-bearing plant in the United States, continental United States. It's basically I saw them down in Florida and didn't realize what they were till later. Next time I get down to where I was at, I'm picking some. It's a holly tree. And I've just got some in, and it is actually quite good. And yeah, it does work. The Native Americans used it a lot down in the South. Too bad it doesn't grow up here, but in case you're wondering why I'm jumping back, that is a little warm. It doesn't look like the stove's distorting, and I'm running some pretty good heat in it. Because I'm looking down the sides, and it's not twisting or anything along that line. The hinge line is still straight. The lines through here are straight. The panels across the top are straight. And with that sort of heat, a lot of titanium stoves, the snap together ones, will start warping after a little bit, which doesn't affect their performance any at all if you can, lock them together and stuff, because you can shape them back. But with a folding stove, it's a little more critical that it doesn't do that, and it doesn't appear to be doing that. They said in the way they designed it, it was these holes allow it to stretch, which it appears like it's doing so. To work, because titanium expands pretty good for when you start applying heat to it. So what this is doing is it allows this panel to expand without twisting and warping the panels like it would normally do if it was a solid sheet cut like that. And you really don't want that when you have hinges and things in there, because that'll bind the hinges up. It can even twist the hinges. This stove will be used more, so we'll have updates on it. But I can already tell by looking at it, it's doing great. And this door hinge here, it's working good. And that should be twisting, and it's not. It's just not broke in yet because it's new, but it is moving quite well. And this is hot enough, it's taking the hair off taking the hair off me. It's not an extraordinarily hot day, but it's not cold either. It's just about right to where I'm liking the fire. And I don't really want a bigger fire. Woohoo! You can see it's getting that pretty hot. That was quite a little bit of water. That's one of my large, that's basically what they consider a titanium pot for cooking. I use it for tea. It's 30, it'll hold a quart, I think, nearly. When I make tea, I like tea. This is from Keith Titanium, the pot. The stove again is a 5-inch titanium Firebox. And the T-ball is Keith Titanium, I believe. And it is a titanium T-ball also. I was kind of looking for one when I lucked across that. They're an interesting item. They don't weigh nothing. And they work pretty good. They got little detents that they pop together. Egg-shaped. These are about $150 with that plate was extra. The other plate that comes with it, you'll get a plate, it's a grill plate you can do the same thing on, but this is just more efficient because it exposes the bottom of the pot for heating if you're making tea and stuff like that. The setup basically without this plate and another one in its place is $150. Titanium hasn't gotten any cheaper. I don't expect it to get any cheaper. It's rather expensive, but it depends on what you're doing with it. If you're looking for light, it's damned hard to beat titanium. I would say this is a successful burn on this stove. We'll come back after it's out and take a look at it. As it is now, I'm going to enjoy my tea. All right, I rolled the fire out of the Firebox, let it sit a few minutes to cool down, so now it can be handled. We're gonna fold it up to see how it does. You can tell it's been hot by the discoloration. That folded up quite well. Snap this back on. Go back. Nope, goes down to the other side. Snapped in nice and solid. Back through the slots. And there it is. Ready for the next fire. Come out once we wipe all the soot and stuff off. You can see the heat anodizing starting to come across. I like that. Personalizes it. Every stove will come out different. But these are the different plates that you can get for it. It came with one of these. You can get this to fit down inside to hold a stove. But that's the Firebox. That's the first burn of the Firebox. I'm happy with it. I like it.